What did people really eat in the time of Jesus? Not the perfect bread we imagine, not soft, white, or abundant, but food shaped by effort, by time, and by uncertainty. One single loaf of bread could take an entire morning to make, and sometimes even that wasn't guaranteed, because in that world, food was never taken for granted. And when you begin to understand that, the Bible starts to feel very different. The land of first-century Palestine was harsh, dry summers that burned the soil, winters that depended entirely on rain that might never come. Farmers lived with one constant question: would the crop survive? Every season carried risk, every harvest carried tension. Wheat, barley, olives, grapes. These weren't luxuries, they were the foundation of life. If the land failed, everything failed. There was no stored abundance, no supermarkets, no reserves for comfort. Every single day, grain had to be ground by hand, stone against stone, again and again and again. Hours of repetitive labor, just to produce enough flour for one meal. Bread wasn't quick, it wasn't easy, it was earned, and behind every meal, there was effort you could feel in your own body. The dough was mixed slowly, with water and a small amount of salt, then kneaded by hand, pressed, folded, repeated, until it reached the right texture. There were no timers, no measurements, only experience passed from one generation to another. The dough was then left to rest, to rise naturally, carrying with it the invisible work of time. Then came the fire, a clay oven heated with wood and embers, the bread placed inside and baked in minutes. But those minutes were the result of hours of preparation. Bread didn't wait for people, people waited for bread. Olive oil was not simply made, it was extracted. Olives were crushed under heavy stone, pressed slowly, patiently, until each drop of oil emerged, golden, thick, valuable. Every drop mattered. It was used for cooking, for light, for healing. Wine followed a similar path. Grapes were harvested, then crushed by foot, inside stone basins. It was a communal process, slow, physical, shared. And once produced, wine was almost always diluted with water, because clean water was rare and often unsafe to drink alone. But food wasn't just about survival. It was about belonging. Meals defined relationships. Who you ate with revealed your place in society. The table was not neutral. It was identity, power, acceptance, or rejection. To sit at someone's table was to be seen, to be included. And then Jesus changed everything. He sat at tables no one else would approach. He ate with tax collectors, with outcasts, with those considered unclean in that world. This was not just unusual, it was scandalous, because sharing a meal meant sharing identity, and Jesus offered that freely. And when you begin to notice these details, the world of the Bible becomes more than words. It becomes real, human, close. If you're enjoying this kind of content, consider subscribing to the channel and tell me in the comments, what other biblical or historical detail would you like to explore next? Your support truly helps us grow and bring more of these stories to life. At the Passover table, everything followed tradition. Every gesture had meaning, every element had history. But on that night, something changed. He took the bread, something everyone knew, something ordinary, and broke it. This is my body. Then he took the cup. This is my blood. In that moment, he transformed a simple meal into something eternal, something that would be remembered for generations. In the time of Jesus, food was never just food. It was labor, survival, identity, and grace. Every meal carried effort, every ingredient carried history, and every table carried meaning. Jesus did not teach from abundance. He taught from reality, from a world where every piece of bread mattered. And if you want to go even deeper, to understand how people lived day by day, how they slept, how they built their homes, you can check out the video about houses in the time of Jesus. It should be appearing on your screen right now. And maybe next time you break bread, you'll remember. They recognized him in the breaking of the bread.